All right, why don't you introduce yourself?
Right on. Yeah, my name's Jordan Kipp. I've been reenacting for over 10 years now. Started doing some 1812, but branched out into stuff like this. So this is actually Mackenzie-Papineau Battalion, about 1938 Spanish Civil War with the International Brigades.
So, Mackenzie-Papineau, that was Canadians that had volunteered, or?
Exactly, yes. So it's kind of a difficult political situation for them, where the most of the governments that were sending volunteers were not the government sending volunteers. These were people that went on their own. So just shy of 2,000 Canadians went over in total, and they had to smuggle them way into France and cross the mountains into Spain to join the Republican forces.
All right, and maybe tell me where we are and why we're here.
Yeah, we're at Fort Malden here in Amherstburg. We're doing a timeline weekend. We got time periods. Well, we got Romans all the way up to modern day. So it's a good mix. These events are interesting because you get to see a lot of people that you don't normally see at the more normal events that we do.
All right, and you have one of the cooler pieces of kit here. What is it that you have brought?
Yeah, so a few years ago, we started a World War I unit, and I figured that we could build a machine gun. So with the way the gun laws are in Canada, most people go with a propane gun or a gas gun. So the one that I built basically uses a mixture of oxygen and propane, some circuit boards and a battery and a spark plug, and it all times itself internally. Pull the trigger, and you get 500 to 600 shots a minute. It's a lot cheaper than blanks.
So let's back up a second.
Yes.
You built this? You built it from scratch?
Yes, so the tripod that you'll see is an original Swiss Army tripod from probably the 1920s. The gun itself was designed on CAD, and I had it cut out at a cutting shop and then basically welded it together so that all my internal components could fit nicely, and it still reasonably looks like a proper machine gun. Trying to avoid the replica distinction here again in Canada. So that's the this is a facsimile of a MG11, a Swiss Maxim gun. It's very similar to the MG08, which is the German World War I machine gun, but the Swiss actually manufactured these in Switzerland prior to and during the First World War, and they had their own tripod design. So that's a Swiss Army tripod. So we use this machine gun for a bunch of different things. We can use it for World War I, World War II, Russian, MacPap, and also the Swiss Army that we do for First World War.
So let's have a peek inside.
Yeah, on the inside. So I can open it up mostly. And you can see there's a combustion chamber, there's a battery down there, there's your circuit board for your timing, and back here are some mechanical solenoids that control the gas flow. So the gas hooks up underneath from the what's our ammunition box, which just holds the propane and oxygen cylinders. So when this shouldn't have anything in it, if I do that, you should be able to hear the timing of the mechanical valve.
Okay, yeah.
And that's it. So when I hit that trigger, the valves go, the spark plug goes, and off she goes, nice and loud. So yeah, this is all just flat sheet metal that I organized in such a way that you can just simply weld it together. And when it's complete, I got to get that in there. It does everything that visually the actual machine gun do. So I got a spring on there, make it look like. So if we're doing a demo for the public, we can make it look realistic to an extent.
Jordan, show me what makes the gun go. What's in your ammunition box?
So yeah, I built this box here just to kind of carry the gas cylinders. So we've got down in front of the floor there is our basically just some welding hose. This connects the gas to the gun itself. Got our gas ports here. A simple propane regulator and an oxygen regulator, so I can adjust the pressures if I have to. And I'm just using refillable Coleman gas for the propane, and that's a welding tank for the O2. So with this setup, with just these tanks I have here, I could probably squeeze about 3,000 to 4,000 shots off. And that's, with blanks, that would cost you $4,000. This cost me about $50 to refill. So it's significantly cheaper than running a blank firing real machine gun. But for our purposes, this is great. It's loud. We got a big box of earplugs just in case, because if we're in a dugout or a bunker, this is going to ring your bell a bit. Yeah.
Well, very cool. Let's see it set up and firing next.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, it's rolling whenever.